Man, what a crazy few months it's been. Around 2 months ago, I made a video titled Warframe, the new player experience, where I decided to share about how confused I was playing this cute little space ninja game called Warframe. At the time, I had around 80 hours in the game, and I literally did not know a single thing about the game besides how to shoot and jump around. Fast forward to today, and I have about 500 hours in the game. And boys, I'm here to tell you that I am slightly less confused about the game, kind of. And over this period, I have become completely relic pilled. I have been min-maxing my weapons. I've been grinding mastery, and I've become a slave to each faction of the game. And I am completely self-made with absolutely no handouts. Well, like besides like the frames and like also my viewer gave me a rank 5 arcane energize and like you know, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about how I feel about the game after 500 hours. Okay, to start off, the new player experience to the game, I still haven't changed my mind. I still think it is entirely dreadful in regards of how you try to learn this game, because the game doesn't teach you anything. However, the game sticks the little hooks in you with its amazing gameplay and makes you stay around. However, after you finally do start to understand the game and do know things to do and do know what's going on, it is very rewarding. Not in the way of you earning something, but in the way of you surviving a trial by combat. But it's not only rewarding, it is extremely refreshing. I just like to say that I have never played a live service game that is this good. It feels like every single system within the game is well thought out, and it's delivered in a way where almost nothing feels useless and everything feels connected. Games nowadays have a habit of making you feel like you're wasting your time by forcing you to do useless chores that make you feel like you're clocking into work rather than playing a game. And this is especially true for live service games. But Warframe does the complete opposite, where I actually want to do everything that's in Warframe. Besides the circuit. And part of the reason it feels like this is because Digital Extremes gives the players what they don't know that they want. I mean, they take completely unnecessary risks, but they always pay off. For example, before the Deviri Paradox release, I guarantee you not a single person asked for it or knew anything like this was ever going to release, simply because it doesn't make any sense. My favorite thing to tell people that don't play this game is that within the looter shooter MMO game that is Warframe, there is a whole nother game that's a roguelike, Souls-like game. They seemingly just blindly throw darts at a wall trying to pick out what they need to add next, but they make sure whatever it is well implemented and thought out, and most importantly, fun. And another great example of this is soon they plan to release an update called Warframe 1999. And to my knowledge, it's going to be similar in scope to that of Deviri Paradox. I don't know much besides knowing they're going to add a dating simulator where you can romance some of the characters that are within the story, and I could not be more excited about it, and I have no doubts that they will deliver. And even when they don't feel like innovating, they just do things that the players want. The most recent example is Ember's new heirloom skin. On my stream, I couldn't go 3 seconds without someone in chat talking about Ember's voluptuous ass. And speaking of that, did you know I'm live right now? So come join the chaotic clusterfuck. I'm live 3 to 4 times a week at 3 p.m. EST. Okay, so to put this all into perspective, I've been playing League of Legends now for about 11 years. I have over 5,000 hours in the game, and throughout this time, aside from seasonal changes and limited events, Riot has only added 1 permanent game mode and a maybe permanent game mode, but with this they've removed 2 game modes entirely. RIP Dominion and RIP Twisted Treeline. And I understand that these are 2 completely different game types that require 2 completely different types of love and care, but I still think in comparison it's crazy the amount of content they've added in the last decade into Warframe. However, this is exactly why I say the new player experience is so terrible. I learned a new little term from a Josh Strife Hayes video on Warframe, and it's called feature creep. Feature creep is when a game starts off with not a lot of content and is kind of easy for a player to pick up, but over the course of years or even a decade, like in the case of Warframe, they add system after system without removing much. When a new feature is added, players who have been playing the game for a while are able to spend time with it. So for someone who has been playing the game for years or even since launch, feature creep is not even a thing that they think about, because they had time to learn each system individually while it was releasing. But for new players, when systems aren't explained that well or even at all, it just adds another barrier to entry for them. Too many systems just make them feel overwhelmed and makes them feel like they can't learn the game. And like I said, Warframe does not do the best job at explaining systems to people, because when I went to get my first Kuva weapon, I couldn't figure it out, so I looked up a video and I watched a 20-minute YouTube video on it, which only left me more confused. So what I had to do is I had to get someone who knew exactly what they were doing to just show me how to do it. A lot of people were angry with my new player experience video when I said that it was bad game design when the only way to learn was to use outside sources or get someone who has 1,000 hours in the game to explain something to you. But I would just like to take this time to double down and say that it is terrible game design when the only way to learn is outside resources or getting someone with 1,000 hours to show you. But even with people showing you how to use systems, not every system just reveals itself to you. For example, I just recently found out that there were world boss bounties in the game, it's really cool. And I also didn't know what Archon shards were, and they're extremely important in this game. 500 hours, by the way. Okay, listen, Warframe is an amazing game, but it has its fair share of issues, and the devs shouldn't get away with it, and they should prioritize fixing them. But I can't help but give them slack because of how great everything else is. I have never been a fan of how looter shooters do instance-based worlds, but when playing Warframe, I don't even think about it. When Destiny 2 first released, I thought I experienced what the peak of looter shooter games could be, but Warframe has blown me away so much that my standard for a good looter shooter game, or even a good live service game, has been raised. And even though my expectations for live service games are at an all-time low, I will be using Warframe as a benchmark going forward. Because if Warframe is a 10, that means a 6 would be incredible. And also, we can look at companies like EA and see that they have over like 30,000 employees and are completely disconnected from their fan base and have no idea how to deliver properly. But then you look at something like Digital Extremes, which is able to accomplish everything I just said with 300 employees, and it just goes to show how in tune they are with their fan base and how much they deeply care about the game they're creating. I have never in my life played a game where the dev to player relationship feels so strong. And this is exactly why they have such an amazing active community. I mean, there were 3,000 people in person at TennoCon this year, which is not bad for like a niche game. And this is a convention where the main premise is just to talk about the next big update. But this is really depressing for me to talk about because while TennoCon was happening, I was deep in the woods and couldn't watch it live, so I didn't get the AX52. But it is amazing to see how active the community is because it feels like every single day I'm seeing some random Warframe video that just came out that has hundreds of thousands of views. I mean, even the video I made has 150,000 views now. And not to go back to League of Legends, but back in around the 2016 era, Riot was kind of the same way with being extremely active with their community, but sometime in the past like 8 years, they've just completely severed that relationship, and the League community has never felt more dead, even though there's still millions of people playing it. And this just goes to show you how other developers should take Warframe as a wake-up call, not only on how to make a game, but how to engage with your community. While making my new player experience video, I said that after you beat the star chart, which takes around 100 hours, you're now in mid-game, and you have 1,000 hours after that to go. But I can safely say that I have never been more wrong. Through my Discord, I've met many people who have thousands upon thousands of hours in the game, and yet they are nowhere near doing everything that you can do in the game. They are still on every single day grinding for hours upon hours, which is extremely reassuring to me because there is nothing that I like more than a game that I can play for years to come, especially when that game feels so rewarding. It feels like Warframe has consumed my life in the best way possible. I literally had to force myself to stop playing the game in order to make this video, and I love making videos. But as I said earlier, it feels so refreshing to have a game that I am not forced to log into, but I log into when I want to. And every single time I log off, I'm left thinking about what I'm gonna do next, which gamers around the world know. That is a rare feeling, but it's a great feeling. I could not recommend this game enough to literally anyone and everyone, regardless of what type of game they like to play, because it's completely free and everything in the game, including shop items and skins, are also attainable for free, because it's not hard at all to just grind a little bit for some platinum to buy what you want, even if it's a skin. Because as of right now on Warframe.market, there are over 60 listings being created every single minute, and it's 3:30 in the morning. And at around 3 to 5 in the morning, Warframe is at its lowest daily average players. And just to add on to all of this, the graphics in the game are amazing, and it has some of the best optimization that I've ever seen. It's also available on pretty much everything, including iOS and the Switch. So please just do yourself a favor and try the game at least. There's literally nothing holding you back, and there is a really good chance that you'll find a new game that you love. If you've made it this far in the video, please consider giving me a like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Also, if you're interested in joining a not so wholesome community on Discord, make sure to join it. The link is in the description. And if you are a new or returning Warframe player, there's a lot of people in there that are willing to help you out. Lastly, make sure to follow my Twitch. Like I said, I'm live 3 to 4 times a week at 3 p.m. EST. It's a lot of fun. Come on. Yeah, but I think that's all. See ya.